there is a constant, infinite stream of abundance that is flowing to you in every moment. It wants to flow through you into your life. It wants to use you as a channel to manifest itself in whatever form is most relevant, is most accessible, is most directly tangible to you in your life right now. And if you're finding this video, then is good news, because you have done the groundwork. You have laid the foundation to really step into this shift of abundance with ease and grace. Because the number one thing when it comes to embodying and manifesting the abundance that you are is to know yourself. When you know yourself, you know who and what you truly are. You know what matters to you, what lights you up, what you love. You know what you're passionate about. You know what excites you, what inspires you. You know your unique, authentic gifts. And you know why it's so important for you to share that with the world. What role that plays, how that fits into the greater picture, how that is being of service to humanity, then you have everything that you need. And that's why you are in an advantageous position, because you already know who you are. And in knowing who you are, you recognize the abundance that you are. The infinite, boundless source of wealth that is yours, if only you were to just claim it and share it and own it. And that's the next question, is why are you not owning it? If you know yourself, if you know why you're here and what you have to share, what are you waiting for? Because we now live in a world of opportunity, of possibility. There is a level playing field for you to just be you, to just exist and get paid for your existence, to just share what lights you up, what energizes you, what excites you, what you're inspired to create and share, how you're inspired to live your life, and to make that available, to make that transparent to the world, to invite others in to your experience. And for that to be what supports you and provides for you and allows you to live the life of your dreams. There are no more excuses. And that's where self-knowledge becomes a bit of a roadblock, because you probably know everything about yourself, about how this works. You've probably learned to exhaustion, but it's not enough to know. You have to apply it. You have to live it. You have to embody it. You have to put yourself out there. And I've learned this many times over with the businesses that I've created, knowing all of the ways in which entrepreneurship works and how business is done and how to start and grow and be successful in those things. But it's an entirely different thing to apply it, to pursue it, to learn from it, to fail forward in it. And then 10 months ago when I started this YouTube channel, the same thing. I'd been wanting to do this for years. I'd known how it works. I'd known all of the things that I wanted to talk about, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't doing the trick until I started going. And here's the secret, is that you won't clarify anything. You won't know anything for certain until you get going. That's the biggest myth of all, is that we think we need to have it all figured out. We think we need to have it perfect before we get going, but that is the biggest myth of them all. Once you get going, you will find the clarity. Once you get going, you will build the confidence. Once you get going, It's never going to be perfect, but it will be exactly what it's meant to be. And in that process, you will find your voice. You will find yourself, more of your authentic expression and value that you are meant to offer. But if you're waiting around trying to get that first until you start, it's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. And I speak from experience here. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You got to take that risk. You got to make that first step. Life will respond in kind when you put your neck out there, when you put yourself out there, when you start to step into your calling. And you see, that's that path that reveals itself underneath each footstep you take. It wasn't even there before you took that first step. It just appears in the right timing, in the right place, as you move into it. That is the epitome of faith. That is the epitome of following your inspiration. And you can do it without expectation, without the overanalyzation of where it's going, of where it needs to be, of how you need to show up in it. All you need to think about is that you are committed to doing it. You are determined to see it through. And that staying power, that commitment is the highest frequency that you can embody as you get going. And that's what life is responding to. It's responding to your commitment. It's responding to your conviction. It's responding to your faith. And that is a frequency which will be reflected in your life as synchronicity, opportunity, abundance in the right form, in the right way, in the right time, just as you need it to be. And that will be the most fulfilling thing about it. You really, on a soul level, want the process. You don't necessarily just want the destination or the outcome. That's great. That will come. It's inevitable once you are fully convicted and committed to yourself, to this process. Because that journey, that process is where it's all at. It's what you gain the most out of. It's how you learn. It's how you grow. It's how you cultivate that love and the wisdom, which is the main currency of your consciousness. You see, that authentic cultivation of your soul is a priceless currency, which is your presence. And that is what you have to share. You see, we think we have to share information, right? We have to show up on YouTube or in the world or in our work with certain information which is valuable. But actually, underneath all valuable information is the frequency. It is the vibrational reality which gives rise to the relevant, valuable information. The information that I share on this channel is not valuable in and of itself if we're not coming from the source of value that gives rise to it. You see, it's the embodiment of that frequency, which is your true self, your presence, your authentic being, that is the value that you have to offer. And the more you practice showing up in that, the more you share that, the more you express that, the more you will be confident in that, and the more it will be recognized and received by others. And that exchange in life is the flow of abundance. You see, that's why you will be paid to merely exist, and you will figure it out along the way, because things will become clear. They will become apparent to you. And everything that you have to offer will start to become apparent. It will start to come to the surface, and others will reflect it to you because they will be seeing the real you. But you have to get going. You have to start. You have to be willing to fail, because that's the thing about your true self, is that it doesn't see failure. To your true self, failure is just another form of success. It's just failing forward. It's just a growth mindset where everything that you encounter, every stumble, every fumble, every turn that you take is something to integrate, something to learn from, and therefore more of yourself that you become. And that is a contagious, compelling person to witness, to learn from because they're authentic, they're human, they're humble, and they're real. You see, it's that putting yourself out there in authenticity as the real you, as your true self, that is what most people want. They want to know that it's possible for them. And they, of course, we all want it to be easy. We all want to think that it's just going to be, no big deal and no problem and no challenges. But that's not the reality of it. The reality of it is that you will figure it out along the way, and you will confront aspects of yourself, the limiting beliefs, the doubts, the insecurities, all of which are the obstacles to you just being you naturally, and you being able to receive the abundance that you are in the form that's most relevant to you right now. And as you face these shadows and as you integrate these aspects of yourself, you will elevate your frequency even more, and your presence will be magnetic and radiant, and everyone will start to recognize it. And that is when you've hit the jackpot, because you will have uncovered the you that is there all along. And now it's shining brightly for all to see. And that is what this is all about. But that is that process, that paradox of being you and becoming more of yourself in the process of putting yourself out there, of stepping into that path that is yours, uncovering your authentic voice, your authentic value, and being willing to be seen as a fool in the meantime, willing to make mistakes, willing for it to not be perfect, but for you to just do it anyway. And so this is yours. It is always already yours. You're only waiting for yourself. So I encourage you to get going on whatever it is that you've been waiting for, or whatever it is you've been procrastinating on, because the time is now. And it's never been easier. And it's never been more accessible to you. And people are waiting for it. Your fans, your audience, your friends, those people who want the value that you have to offer, they are waiting for you. So what are you waiting for? And this is why I put together my alignment masterclass, which is a 3-part model: identity, shifting, alignment of your habits and your thinking and your feeling as a frequency to manifest your desired reality. And you see that as I am. And that is my free alignment masterclass. And if you want to go through it, there's videos, worksheets, meditations, all of which you can implement in your daily life to start to cultivate this attitude and this way of being so that you can manifest your desired reality. So if you want to have access to that, just comment manifest down below and I'll send you a link where you can get access to that for free.